Welcome back to the fields of Perthshire in bonny Scotland. And it's been not so bonny this morning because it's been raining through the night and into the early hours. But thankfully 11 AM and it has stopped. So I'm out and I'm not alone. I am out with Albert. You'll just see him in the background over my shoulder starting to appear. So he had to go back to his car, he forgot his gloves. So that's him returning. We're back out, we're on the field that I did 3 hours on yesterday, which is the Gold Royale field. This is the field where Martin found that incredible gold silver coin from the 1400s. When I was out yesterday, despite us having metal detected this to death in the past, it's been ploughed, it's had time to settle, and I got a massive silver coin, absolutely huge silver coin. And also got a little Victorian silver coin as well. So hopefully plenty more to come. The question is, will it be medieval or not? Now Albert even had a hammered coin off this field last year. Pete had a lot of hammered coins off this field. Martin had a couple. Pete also had a medieval silver ring. He had a medieval key. I also remembered Martin got this phenomenal medieval silver cross, which is really big and chunky. And yeah, so there's lots of stuff been here in the past. The question is, are we going to find any medieval stuff today? So as ever, if you're not already subscribed, then please hit the button and help support the channel. Right, let's go and see if we can find some treasures. Well, what a difference a day makes. It's taken me 15 minutes to get a signal. It took me 5 seconds yesterday. Wouldn't say it was phenomenal. 81, 82. Getting better now. But given the history of this field and what's come off it, and even yesterday the Victorian silver coin was really faint. The small one, the threepence. So, still in there. Take one more out with a bit of the front wall, and we'll get the pinpointer in. Oh, maybe. And now it's a screamer. So, very good depth. Possibly lead right there. It is. Well, it's a little slither of lead. A little offcut, I think. Give it a wee brush just in case it's a horn, but nope. Just a little offcut of lead. But very good depth recovery. It's going to probably be about 12 inches. Excellent. On to the next. 82. Doesn't seem like a massive target. Doesn't also sound like a coin. A bit tinny. There we go. It's a little bit of copper. Purpose unknown. Oh, it's part of a buckle. Yep, it's part of a buckle. You can see there is where the pin would have been. Quite a big buckle, almost certainly off a horse. But it's a find, probably 18 into the early 1900s. The number of times that I get it wrong. 2 spadefuls down, pretty innocuous sounding target. It's there and it looks like we've got a coin. So that's us, we've dug 4 or 5 holes just in the space of 5 minutes, having dug none for 15. So it looks like a halfpenny, but we are off the mark with our first coin. You can see how sandy the soil is, so hopefully we're going to get some detail off it. Back to you in a moment. We got an ID, and that's all we can hope for. You'll see the young head of Victoria fading in. And it is a halfpenny, half a pint, maybe a pint if it's a low quality establishment. But it is the first coin. We've just gone 35 minutes on the clock. And we've also got a date at the bottom. which is 1885. So there you go. We have a coin in a little over half an hour, and that is a very good sign. So hopefully more to come. Fantastic. A wee chirpy 52 brings up a little button with the maker S. Coville, Covill. But I don't think it's massively old, 50, 80, maybe 100 years, but no much more than that. And another chirpy little 52 produces button number 2. Unfortunately, it is broken. You can see where the shank would have been. I think it's a plain one, and I think it is. And it's probably sometime, oh, nearly. It's probably sometime in the 1800s, but it's another find. A 67. Is it going to be a coin or a button? I mean, it's the right sort of size that it could be a turner, but it ain't a turner. It's a button. Oh well. There you go. The day of the buttons so far today, I think. This is actually number 4. But I've got a coin. Plenty of bits of lead. It's got busier now that I've moved up to a different part of the field, but it was a real slow start. That's me just gone about an hour and 15 minutes, but probably 100 to 200 years old. That was a very debatable one. Turned out to be a shotgun cap, but right next door, that ain't a shotgun cap. 85. And it's a coin. I think I can see something green and round. Very olive green. In fact, look right there. Ta-da! I think we've got coin number 2. Not much of an imprint. I think it might be a Victoria. Sure I caught a glimpse of her there. Maybe not. Oh, I did. Yeah, there it is. It is Victoria. And it's a nice wee coin. A lovely patina. Should get something off of that. And there she is. It's another young head Queen Victoria. So Queen Victoria is part of the reason that, or she is responsible partly for making Scotland sexy again, because she famously visited Scotland on 2 occasions. Well, she came on lots of other occasions, but she came in 1842, and I think she came again in 1844 on these grand tours, which were in excess of a month. She wrote extensive diaries throughout her life, over 120 volumes of diaries, which were later published. And we've got a date, I think it's 1871. So at the end of her second tour, Prince Albert bought her a castle, which was in Aberdeenshire, which today everyone knows as Balmoral, and most of it was demolished because it wasn't big enough. I think they built a castle that was something like 8 or 10 times the size on the site of the original, although they did retain a few original parts. And ever since then, Balmoral has been the private family home of the royal family, all the way through until the present day, currently owned by King Charles, who incidentally inherited it tax-free from his mother, Queen Elizabeth II. He also owns the estate next door, which he inherited tax-free from his grandmother, the Queen Mother. So there you go, a lovely wee coin from 1871. Well, it could be 1873. This was a real tetchy little 50-52 copper alloy. It's like a little hook, flat on the other side though. I wonder actually if it could be more like a buckle fitting rather than a tie back for a door or something, because I wouldn't expect it to be flat backed. Maybe even a piece of furniture fitting, but if you know, let me know. A wee catch up with Albert. I think he's doing better than me. Little pin thing. Oh, it's a wee tack, a wee furniture tack. 4-holer, bits of aluminium, bits of whatever. But he's got 3 very interesting little finds right there. So he's got himself, oh, there we go, it's better. He's got himself, first of all, a really beautiful button, which is gilded floral decoration, and still got the loop on the back. So that is probably a late Georgian into Victorian, I would think, sort of 1820, 1850, something like that. Lovely button. He's also got himself a little taste of America. What's the year on it? Is it 1901?
Looks like 1901.
Yeah, 1901. United States of America. Indian head cent. Is that what they call it? Indian head penny? It's actually in really good condition. We get one of these every now and again. And one of the Hoover boys actually got a, I'm sure he called it a deuce, or maybe it was a 5 cents, I can't remember anyway, but he said it was quite an unusual coin to find in America, never mind to find one in Scotland. But yeah, 1 cent, Indian head penny. I've certainly had 3 or 4, maybe even 5 over the years, but another coin that is a long way from home, way before the arrival of aeroplanes. And a nice little coin of George III, which is a halfpenny. So you'll see him fading in there. It is one of the earlier ones, I do believe, so it'll be sometime in the early part of his reign, 1760 to 1820, 60 years he was on the throne. So I think this will be pre-1800. On the other side, there is the wee ball gown of Britannia. We've got a dog coming over to see us, possibly. It looks a bit timid, but it's thinking about it. But yeah, there you go, George III. And then he's just went and put something else in my hand, which is, oh, look at that. So Albert's just detecting right next to me, and he's got himself, well, at first I thought a button, but it's got a little orangey, ambery sort of piece insert. So it could be a button, could be part of a brooch. Don't think it's silver, but yeah, interesting. So there you go, a nice wee haul from Albert. I do like the Indian head penny, Indian head cent. It's in very good condition. Let's go and see if this dog will come and say hello to us. Here's our wee friend who's come over, but she's actually looking at my metal detector rather than us. No, she's undecided. Don't blame her. She's probably terrified of Albert. We got a 62, and I think it's going to be a little button at that output, and it is, I think. Yep, still got the loop on the shank as well. So I think this is about button number 7. Albert's got 3 or 4 as well. So yeah, Albert's over playing with the dogs. And it is just a plain one. A little flex. It could have been gilded previously, but well, again, it's probably 1800s, 1850s, something like that. But it's another find. Going to have a wee word with Albert. I drove past the Roman field the other day and it looked tempting, so we'll see if he fancies a drive out there. We'll maybe give that a try, depending on how he's getting on. Well, what a difference a day can make. I mean, this field was incredible when I was on it for 3 hours yesterday. 3 bits of silver, because I'm forgetting I got that potential gold and silver item, which I think could be Georgian, maybe could be Georgian, 17, early 1800s. But yeah, it's a bit, well, it's not quieter. We're getting plenty of targets, but it's lead, it's copper, it's aluminium, obviously a few coins, so 2 for me. I think Albert's got 3, maybe 2 or 3 coins, so we're not having a bad time. But we've done 3 hours. We've got a few hours left, and I drove past our Roman field maybe three or 4 days ago, and it was looking enticing. So we've not been back since we were out with the Hoover boys, and who doesn't like finding a little bit of Roman? I've obviously got the new programme as well now, so I'll be interested to see if it can winkle out anything else. And we've also had quite a bit of rain over the last 7 days, so hopefully that will bring a few targets to life. So let's go and jump in the car and take a drive to the Roman field. And that's us, we're on the Roman field. So let's see if those pesky Hoover boys have missed anything since they were here last. A good sign already, because Albert's walked from just by the side of where my detector is, and he's in with a signal already, so fingers crossed that's going to mean that there are some targets left behind by the Hoover boys, who incidentally I think between them got something like 35 Roman coins off this field, including several of them silver denaries. Turns out Albert's was a little bit of coppery junk, but still it was a decent target. It came through at a 78 and it was about 8 inches down and it was missed, so it was a very clear sound. Thankfully I've got one as well. Mine's a lot more spurious, a bit low, 48, but maybe Brad missed this one. 45, 48, 50. I mean, we've had Roman 4th century at that size. That ain't Roman 4th century though. That is a tie you down, what do they call it, for a tarp. An eyelet for a tarpaulin. But look at the size of that target, and it was in the top 3 inches, 4 at a push, and it was missed. It's only my 4th target in 1 hour, so 73. So them Hoover boys sure did hoover the stuff up. That's for certain. And it doesn't sound great, but you got to dig them, even the faint ones. Is it there, is it? And that is it. And look at that. It's a tiny little copper alloy thing. It could be a pin. I mean, it could arguably be Roman, but it's pretty spurious if I claim that that's Roman. Still, it's a thing, copper alloy, and as I say, it might be a pin. It could be the pin of a brooch, but not entirely sure. Right, well, it's a thing. Right, this one is a screamer. Albert was nearby. I mean, that's got to be a coin, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a solid lump of...
It's out. It's got to be a coin. It has to be a coin. I mean, it might be a Georgian copper, to be honest, but got a clod. Yeah. No, it's aluminium. Oh my goodness. God, I thought that was something huge in silver there. Ah, what a nightmare. Well, if they missed that, it's going to be something else around.
I picked up over there.
This is a flaky 60. It's round and it's green. I think it's a button. It is a button. Oh, I thought maybe it had a wee Roman 4th century there. But it's a button. We got a lot of buttons off this field because we were all going so slowly with all sensitive programs, and thankfully Sean was digging up most of the trash for us as well, because he was skirting around the edges, which is where most of the aluminium is. But he did find a beautiful French silver coin from the 1600s. But that is a little button, loop squashed, and that's probably from the 1800s. But find of the day out this field so far. Albert's got the find of the afternoon. It's copper alloy, and it is a little flower sort of shape, flower design. Age, purpose, no idea. Could it be Roman? Well, it could be, but it could also be 1800s. It's got a few holes in it which are just rot rather than perforations. But who knows? If you know, comment below. But yeah, could be just about any age from any period. So let us know. Okay, it's definitely busier down this far end of the field. This is a nice one, 82. Again, easy digging. And we're out. And we're somewhere in there, pretty shallow by the looks of it. Albert! I'm pretty sure that that is a Roman silver. I am pretty sure that that is. right there. Right there, Albert is not far away. Do you see that? See that edge? Right there? I think it's a Roman silver. Look there.
No way.
Right there. And I don't think it was deep at all, but it was a real crisp, solid target. If it is a silver, I think it is a silver. It is a Roman silver. 100%. 100%. Well, there you go. That is a Roman silver denarius. Well, Hoover boys, you missed this one. It's about all you missed, to be honest. There you go. What did I tell you? Big tree.
Yeah.
See, we've got a marker in this field that we can use. It does look like a nice coin. It is a lovely coin. It is. It's like a square box on it. Well, I think we've got a pretty clear head. We do. There you go. Oh, you beauty. I think it's a woman. I think it could be Diva Faustina. How good's your eyesight? Can you see D-I-V-A? Diva?
Yeah.
Possibly there. And I think that's a woman. I think it could be Diva Faustina. Faustina the First. I can't remember. I think she was the wife of Marcus Aurelius, but it could have been Commodus. I can't remember. I'll need to try and look it up. Right, we've got a Roman silver. Right, I'll clean it up and get back to you. And there we are. Now, I was able to have a wee look online. I was wrong. Diva Faustina was not the mother. Was not the wife of Marcus Aurelius. She was the auntie of Marcus Aurelius. She was the wife of Antoninus Pius. And he ruled from 138 to 161. And I think she died around about 140, 142. So this coin must be from sometime around about 138 to 142 AD, give or take. She, as I say, was the aunt of Marcus Aurelius, and later on he was adopted and became their son, effectively. That was quite a common thing for the Roman high society, emperors and so on, to adopt children who would then go on to become their sort of next in line. It is a silver Roman denarius. I just don't know what this is. This square feature, it could be a temple, it could be an altar. It looks to me like a bird, but that might just be, something else, and it's just a bit worn. Other than that, I can't make a lot out. But this is from the time when the Romans tried to reconquest Scotland. The Antoninus Pius had the Roman army push north from Hadrian's Wall to capture the central lowlands of Scotland, pushing up through the central belt, and eventually they built a second wall. Everyone knows Hadrian's Wall, which runs between modern day Carlisle and Newcastle, 73 miles across the north of England, entirely in England, but its western edge is only half a mile away from Scotland. And he then decided to build a second wall, except this one, instead of being built of stone, was built of turf and earth and timber. So not much of it survives, but it's a lot shorter. I think it's 38 or 40 miles, something like that, from end to end. And it runs from the west coast, close to the River Clyde, close to Glasgow, all the way through to close to a place called Blackness, which is near Linlithgow on the Firth of Forth, the estuary that feeds out through Edinburgh. So it runs kind of between Glasgow and Edinburgh. Took a lot longer than the Hadrian's Wall. Took about 6 years to build for 73 miles, and I think it took them something like 20 years to build the Antonine Wall. And no sooner did they finish it than they abandoned it and dropped back to Hadrian's Wall again. So that is an absolutely phenomenal silver Roman coin from the 2nd century. Unbelievable. What a find. What a find. It does not get much better than that. I love a hammered coin, but my goodness, I love a Roman silver denarius. Mwah. Absolutely brilliant. Well, folks, now for something just a little bit different. I'm often talking about the Antonine Wall, and many of you will never possibly have ever heard of it, and most of you have probably never seen it. So what better way to learn about it than to go and visit it? So don't worry, it's only going to be a few minutes long, and we'll be back to more Roman finds just shortly. I'm going to take you to the eastern third of the wall and to a fort called Rough Castle, which is one of the best preserved Roman forts on the entire length of the Antonine Wall. So let's go and have a little look. So this is a map of the north of England and the south and central parts of Scotland. You can quite clearly see along the north of England, Hadrian's Wall, and to the top, the Antonine Wall across the centre of Scotland. And on this map you can see a little bit more detail. You can see Hadrian's Wall at the bottom of the screen. You can see the various tribes that the Romans name, the Votadini, and around the area of the wall and the Antonine Wall was a tribe called the Meatae. This is a detailed map of the Antonine Wall showing some of the major forts and fortlets. I think there are 19 forts and 10 fortlets known of so far. And we are going to visit one in the eastern third, which is called Rough Castle, one of the best preserved along the entire wall. So welcome to the Antonine Wall and Rough Castle Roman Fort. In Latin it was known as the Valum Antonini. And unlike Hadrian's Wall, it was built from turf and from timber. Now Rough Castle is the second smallest Roman fort along the entire length. I think there's 19 in total that are known of so far, and I think there are another 9 or 10 Roman fortlets along its length. Now this is the southern side of Rough Castle Fort, and this is the defensive ditch that would have completely surrounded the fort. The fort's actually built into the southern side of the wall, and this would have been the southern gateway, so it would have been flanked by 2 huge towers on the left and on the right, and then there would have been a large gateway, and then you would walk up here through the doors which would open, and this would be the interior of the fort. As I've mentioned before, this was the second smallest fort of the 19 built along the wall. You can see the double ditch on the southern side there, and along the top of the wall there would have been a palisade with some sort of walkway as well. Inside there'd have been multiple buildings. Some of them were built from stone, some from timber, and over in this area would have been the commander's house. Again, this is the gateway with the double ditches, and away over in the distance you can actually see the remnants of the Antonine Wall and ditch. This is us now on the northern side of the fort, and the ditch running immediately from right to left is the original ditch of the wall. Now here's a really good diagram that shows you the interior of the fort. You can see the purple spot at the bottom is where we are standing, or where I'm standing, and you can see the interior of the fort. So various buildings, the officer's house, the granaries, the blocks where the men would have slept, and again here would have been another gateway. The fort built directly into the wall, and the only way through the wall would have been literally to pass through the middle of the fort. Now unfortunately, over the 1800 years or so since its construction, a lot of the wall and a lot of the forts have been damaged, many by agriculture but also by the construction of towns and villages, But thanks to modern archaeology, we do know a reasonable amount about who was based here. There was a garrison who were known as the Nervians, and they came from modern-day Belgium. And at any one time, there could be anywhere from around 200 soldiers based here to anything up to over 500. And this is us in the northwest corner of the fort looking out over the wall. So this is probably one of the best preserved sections of the original ditch. As I say, the wall runs for 39 miles, and originally it would have been around 10 feet or 3 metres in height, with a ditch of around 5 metres or 16 feet in width. And along the top would have been a palisade of wooden posts, and on the outside edge pits to prevent the fort from being attacked, and even the wall from being attacked. But around about 163 AD, this fort, and most of the forts along the length of the wall, were destroyed. Signs of burning, which suggest that the Romans destroyed them themselves before they headed south and back to Hadrian's Wall. So I hope you enjoyed that little virtual tour around Rough Castle, Roman fort on the Antonine Wall. Quite incredible that abandoned in the 160s, around about 163 AD, and we can still go and physically see some of it. Right, speaking of the Romans, let's get back to metal detecting and more Roman treasures. Okay, we got another. Calm down a bit now. 79 going up to an 82. Again, really easy digging. Sounding a bit better, but deeper. Or in that front edge. Let's try again. There it is. I think I saw something green there. It's not a coin. Right there. Nope, I imagined it. It is green. It's not what I thought I saw. It's a button. Quite a big 82, 79 for a button. But it is, oh, it's one of these gold ones. So, there are targets here. You just got to work for them. So yeah, little gilded button. Probably if you could read it, it would say something like gold gilt or pure gold gilt or gold gilt colour. And this is a type from the 1800s. So, it's another find. Another unconvincing target in the ground, and I've taken out 4 spadefuls, and on the last one, now it's a screamer. Chance of a coin. But is it Roman? It's there. There we go. Green edge. Well, it looks like a probable halfpenny. So not Roman, but coin-like. Not seeing anything on that at all at the moment. But we'll give it a rub-a-dub and get back to you. It is another coin. It's taken me a while, but I think I've figured it out. That's it sitting on top of the halfpenny that I found in the other field earlier on today. You can see it is decidedly smaller, and I thought that until I put them side by side just to confirm it. Now I think you can just see the figure of Britannia seated there. And I think this is a farthing, so it's a quarter of a penny, not a halfpenny, as I initially thought. And if I turn it over, I believe right there, a bit worn, is the bust of George III. And that would put it sometime between 1760 and 1820, but specifically I think these copper farthings or brass farthings, I think they only came into circulation around about 1800. So I would guess it's sometime around 1800, 1820. But if anyone knows, let me know. but it is another coin, and from a good depth again. Phenomenal. Wow, absolute screamer. 92, 93. Oh, stone. That's better. Nope. See something big and green. I think it's a machinery piece or something. Right there. Ah, look at that. Look at that. How could you miss something that big? My goodness. Clearly we didn't focus very much over on this part of the field. That would have been impossible to miss. Some sort of tractor related junk, I think. Agricultural machinery. Right, Albert's got a wee find which he's shouting over to me what it is. And I wonder.
I've got this as well. Where is it there?
Certainly looks like a wee coin, doesn't it? But
Yeah.
it's in an awful state. I mean, it's very thin. I would say that's probably a Turner, yeah, a Scottish Turner, I would say. So 1600s Charles II probably. But Albert's got himself a wee relic. Look at that. He's got himself a die. Or a dice.
There's ones and twos on it.
Which doesn't he have? He says it looks like somebody's got bored and given up. And you're right enough. We've had 2 or 3 of these off this field before. Although we've not had one that someone gave up on.
It's got 2 ones and a 2 on it.
Yeah. The other ones had like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but they weren't the order that you would get on a modern dice. You know how, what is it, the alters? They add up to, what is it, 7?
Yeah.
Whereas our ones were different, and I'm sure there was one we got that had diamonds on it instead of dots. You know, diamond shapes. But that is definitely a lead cube. Not a very good one. It's not very. It's a bit squint, isn't it? But well, it could be Roman, a wee Roman relic. One for the museum, Albert.
Yeah.
Well done, son. Well done.
We can have a look at it when they look at the bull.
Yeah. I'm sure you'll hear about that soon, though. What's that been? Just over 2 years.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure you'll hear eventually. 2027,
Price of
2028.
went up.
Scrap value has increased. Well, if you know what his wee dice might be or his die might be, then let us know in the comments below. Is it Roman? This is a screamer, and it could be one of my last targets because we've probably only got 20 minutes, half an hour to go. 84, 86. Definite penny territory. Got the right tone, and we've got a coin. I can see a green disc right there, look. Right there. Oh, I tell you what, I think it's Roman. I think that is a Roman coin. It's got the right shape, that's for sure. Right, folks. Right. It's a wee bit rough and ready, but it's definitely misshapen and possibly a head on there as well. Okay, I'm going to clean this up delicately off camera, take a few minutes and then get back to you. I've given Albert a shout, told him I've got a potential Roman coin, and I think right there you've got a head looking to my right hand side. So I'll fade in a sort of 1st, 2nd century head or two and see what you reckon. But it's got the kind of look of that kind of period. Quite a long face, bit of a pointy nose, quite a square chin even, and I think it is 100% a Roman, well, I was going to say silver coin, I wish it was. It's a Roman coin. The other side, I think potentially there is a standing figure on there. But other than that, I cannot really tell you very much about it. My guess is, though, it is 1st or 2nd century. Definitely a head, very clearly on there. So should be able to get the museum to identify that. But if anyone knows, or anyone thinks they know, then let me know. But that is 100% Roman coin number 2. Phenomenal. Albert's got an 82. We're awfully excited. It sounds... Oh, you see it already? What is it?
Coming in this side.
Oh well, it's a coin at least. On its edge a wee bit.
That looks like Roman.
That's Roman. Oh, well, there you go. I thought that was a halfpenny when I looked at it, but look how fat it is. It's Roman. There you go. Well done. Well done. I've actually turned my machine off because we're walking back towards the car.
See the face there, right?
Yeah, it looks like a head with a big chin, doesn't it? Right, I'll give it a wee rub-a-dub gently and get back to you. That's as much as we're willing to do for it, but you can clearly see a head with little tassels coming down, quite a pronounced chin, nose, and that is a Roman, possibly like an ass, which would be, what, copper or brass, which is a denomination of a coin. Quite chunky, as you can see, uneven in terms of thickness and so on, but it is a Roman coin, and my guess would be it's 1st or 2nd century. So there you go, triple Roman. Hoover boys. We thought they'd cleaned us out when we started off, but clearly they haven't got it all. So that's a great sign. And once this field is ploughed, I'm sure there is going to be a lot more to be had. And that very chunky little coin of Albert's was the last signal of the day. I'd actually already turned my machine off. I could see in the horizon a big black cloud coming that looked a bit sleety and a bit snowy. It's very cold at the moment, and sure enough the heavens opened, so we just ran for the car, and it was hailstones and heavy snow for about 10 minutes, but thankfully it's passed. So Albert's dropped me off back home, and what a fantastic day. A beautiful Roman silver coin, and then a bronze coin, and then Albert picks up another one, and also Albert got that fantastic die as well, or dice, which may or may not be Roman, which would be fantastic. So let's have a look at my best couple of finds. And there are the highlight of the day. That silver coin is absolutely stunning. Diva Faustina. Faustina the First, Faustina the Elder, the wife of Antoninus Pius, the auntie and later adoptive mother of Marcus Aurelius. Along with that, we've also got Queen Victoria penny, Queen Victoria halfpenny, George III farthing, and another Roman bronze. Exactly who, I'm not sure, but I reckon 1st or 2nd century, which is almost certainly also when Albert's was. It is a really, really beautiful coin. Lovely patina. And cue someone who's going to say it should be green or crusty or rusty or whatever. You saw the soil is incredibly sandy in this field. Preservation is phenomenal. And as I say, there was a hoard of 300 odd Roman silver coins found in Perthshire last year, and the vast majority of them looked like they were made yesterday. It's just the way it is. So an absolutely phenomenal day. If anyone can help with the identification of the Roman silver, I would be most delighted. I actually sent the Hoover boys a wee WhatsApp message, because we've got a group from when they were over, just to say, thank goodness guys, you missed one. And in actual fact, they missed 3, maybe even 4 if you include the die that was found by Albert. So, a phenomenal day. It doesn't get any better than Roman 2nd century silver, let's face it. So if you like the video, then please give it a little thumbs up. And if you're not already, then please subscribe to the channel and help support the channel's growth. So thank you all. Another phenomenal day, another tremendous day. I'm covered in dog hairs because as soon as I walked through the door, my dog was all over me. But absolutely brilliant, fantastic. I'm sure there'll be more to come off that Roman field. And the best way to tackle it in the future is going to be with gridding it and properly going back and forward. All we did was zigzag around the field. There is a hotspot, which is the area that we're focused on with the extreme horde hunter, in the hope that there may or may not be a buried horde that we just can't pick up. So far, we haven't had anything, but that's not to say that in the coming few days when I'm out using it again, that we don't turn something up. So thank you all for watching. Take care, and thanks for all the support. We'll see you on the next dig. See you soon.